What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Strength Solutions Podcast. We're on Apple and Spotify. You can rate reviews. Check us out on YouTube. As the beat drops, go to the website, strengthsolutionspodcast.com. We have free blogs, free guides, and programs for purchase. Strength Solutions Podcast. Also, you can set up your free assessment. And guess what? Our events are on there. Strength Solutions Podcast is our social media, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's get started.
Let's get it, man.
Okay. The number one thing I want to talk about is there was a guy on social media screaming in his car.
Uh-oh.
I don't understand. Like, you just need to do this, this, and this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a one size fits all. You just need to eat well. You need to sleep well. You need to work out. Just be consistent. That is true. But a one size all approach does not fit everybody, right?
Yeah.
That means you're not taking in the psychological factor. You're not taking in genetic factors. Like, literally, I was listening this morning into a podcast and it was talking about like women's health and PCOS and different things and how to optimize hormones and how hormones affect like weight gain, weight loss, and how it's stored. And I think, yes, these are the foundational tools, and you just got lucky and you hit the lottery and everything works out for you. I mean, I remember being at the gym and this guy's like, well, what do you eat? Well, Whataburger. And I'm like,
Oh,
dang, you just are genetic free.
he just gets away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where, like you said, I mean, there's just so many aspects of health, fitness, and like while those are, I would say, like, you know, the foundation or things that are gonna help a lot of people, right? They don't necessarily mean that they're gonna give everybody the same results, or it's the reason why you're not, you know, getting to what you need or whatever. I don't know if I had sent you this one too, but I seen another post where this guy was talking about how he used to work at like a supplement shop and he was in the gym all the time, and he was just a regular guy. He wasn't like a trainer or anything. And he was like, man, at this point, you know, everybody that you know, that goes to the gym often and stuff like that. And that's a bit broad statement, but he was like, all of these people are just like taking, you know, quote unquote gear. Like he was like, he was like, there was this guy that one time came in, just looked like some dude, you know, wasn't particularly shredded or huge or anything like that. He was like, this guy was on more stuff than I'd heard anybody on. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you never know what everybody's doing, you know, like you said, what supplements they're on, what genetics they have. I think we should all be trying to strive for those general things, but it doesn't mean that, you know, everything works for everybody.
Yeah. And when we're talking about gear too, some people are really good responders to gear.
Yeah.
And some people are not good responders to gear. That shows you how like individualized it is.
Yeah.
And you could have everything the same and it breaks down differently.
I was watching this video. It was about this guy who was like a coach for the Olympic United States team, and he was part of like, not a drug ring, but he was a big,
I know Chuck.
Yeah. He had been giving a lot of, you know, supplements to the athletes and stuff like that. And he was saying that he was like, you know, we'd come in, everybody would take a blood test, you know, and then it was up to me to, you know, decide how much they were taking, build them a program, take this in the morning, take this at night. Like it's that serious,
it's
you know?
Science.
Yeah. And so it's like, you know, you may get on all this stuff or you may pick up a bunch of things, and it's like you could take it all and nothing will change, you know, just because your body just doesn't respond to it the same way.
Yeah. And let's give people like an idea of like why one size doesn't fit all. There's a concept where a lot of moms are working all day and then they go pick up their kids and then they go do this. And you're asking this individual to have the lifestyle that you have. And yes, they can prioritize workouts early in the morning or whatever it is. But two, you're not taking in their psychological, how tired are they? So like how hard can they work? How can they eat? How can I make fitness part of their life and not fitness their whole lifestyle?
Yeah. Maybe this is kind of like off on the end or whatever, but I was had a client yesterday who was new, and we were talking and stuff, and it was funny because they said something similar to one of my other clients that said something during one of our seminars, and she said, you know, one of my main problems is I think I'm just lazy. And I was like, and I heard her say that, and I let her finish what she was talking about, and I was like, you know, I recounted the story of my previous client who said that, and I was like, she's probably one of the least laziest people I know. And I was like, it doesn't sound like you're lazy. You got people you're taking care of. You're working 10 hours a day. Like, that doesn't sound lazy, you know? And so again, you know, in this sort of one size fits all thing, like everybody's got something else going on and has different capacity, you know, to, you know, engage in physical activity or whatever it is. And I think, you know, a lot of times we have to change our mindset and perspective of what working out looks like. Hey, is it 10 minutes? You know, today I got to work out for 45 minutes. Yesterday you saw me work out and I probably worked out for like 15, 20 minutes, hit some leg stuff. And that was all I had that day, you know? And it's like, you know, my mental capacity or just the straight up time I have. And, you know, just what does fitness look like for you?
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example of this, and I think the problem with some of the health things that are going on, they want to have like workout areas in airports.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to make it seem like they're wasting money. This is not going to make the big difference in overall health.
Yeah.
What would really help is people being less stressed, you know, being able to set working areas where we have more walkable areas in our cities.
Yeah.
Like San Antonio.
Like
least, right?
integrate it, right? Not create these like little special things. It's like, has to be all the time, everywhere. Yeah. Accessible, easy. That was one of the things that I was telling my clients too, that I was like, if you manage how much stress you have, also, you may have more capacity, you know, to take on more, to have energy to work out afterwards. It's just that you're maybe not physically drained, right? Maybe your job isn't physically demanding, but mentally you're checked out. You know, by the time the day's done, I don't want to do anything else. You know, I'm out.
Yeah. And even things like DoorDash, right? Why is DoorDash possible? Again, it's not integrating anything. A lot of these activities, but I did see walking is on the rise and screen time's going down from Gen Z.
Ooh.
And it's just one of those things I think people are starting to realize, and you got to give people time, you know, and it leads to like people taking Ozempic and they're rushing it. And then I literally had a conversation with a client. He's like, well, I've been doing like 4 pounds, 5 pounds. And then all of a sudden they upped my dosage and I'm lost like 9 pounds in the last month.
Whoa.
And I was like, well, you could back off a little bit.
Yeah.
And really that could help you a lot.
I don't know if it was on one of the previous podcasts we had, or maybe I was talking to a client too. But talking about hormones, right? This one size fits all approach for these weight loss medications that they're giving people. It's like a program, you know, they're like, the first 4 weeks you do this, next 4 weeks you do that, then you go up here and you go up there. And it's just like, here you go. This is just how it does. And it's like, dude, this is hormones that I'm using. These are peptides. These are things that are changing the way my body reacts. Like you said, some people are going to have a really, you know, severe reaction to it. Some people may not have any at all. And it's like, why aren't we, I don't know, taking the time to work with this individual if we really want them to get the results, right? In a, you know, respectable, safe sort of way. And maybe these dosages are safe, you know, in general, but I think that we could just be dialing this in better. And I can't imagine that we don't have the ability to do this, you know, like
it goes down to like better healthcare from doctors, personal trainers, physical therapists, chiropractors, us being on the same page and telling people there's not this, like you're not broken, 1, 2, you're not all the same. And 3, take your time.
Yeah.
Nothing happened overnight. And I think that's the message a lot of people should be getting, whether it's from the personal training space and saying, I can fix your weight by just working out really hard, or the physical therapy, just do these exercises. This will fix you.
Yeah.
Or just do this adjustment by chiropractors, or doctors saying, you just need to take this, this, and this, and it'll fix everything. We really need to be on the same page and tell people it's literally all going to take time. It's going to be work.
Yeah.
And
work, right.
You're going to have to like really think slow and not fast.
The things that I would say, I guess we'd like break it down into things that maybe are one size fits all, is like, consistency, right? Consistency is good. Having a little bit of discipline.
But even within consistency, what does consistency look like for you as an individual, right?
Like right now, okay, so for me, maybe 2 years ago, my consistency would have been 3 super heavy days, you know, like working out, doing these movements or whatever. Now for me right now, I kind of just made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm gonna try and work out every day. If it's 5 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, if it's 45, whatever I can get, that's consistency for me. It's just getting something in, you know. It could be a set of leg extension which, could be the worst quad exercise.
Yeah. It could be, right? Or it could be the best.
Who knows? Yeah. Again, I mean, even that's a one size fits all thing, right? Like maybe for some people, the leg extension does really create a lot of hypertrophy. Maybe for other people, they respond better to a split squat or something. And it's just
like a Bulgarian, right?
And maybe your anatomy, the way you're shaped or whatever it is. Like
maybe you don't fit into the machines as well.
Dude, there's so much, man. Right. Yeah.
All right. So let's go into U.S. obesity rates are on the decline.
Ooh, nice, man.
So it was at 40% and now it's down to 37%.
That's a lot of percent.
And so this is from 2009 to 2025. But diabetes was about 10%. Now it's up to 13.8. And it's still climbing up even though obesity went down 3%.
Interesting.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you're smaller does not mean you have quality tissue, and you probably lost quality tissue. And this is where the Ozempic semaglutide can be harmful to people, is they're losing weight without working out.
Yeah.
They're not building bone density, not building muscle.
Their insulin resistance is changing.
Not that this is bad, but this can happen overall. And it leads to a lot of people being what's called a skinny fat.
Right. Yeah.
Right. If you don't know what that means, you look skinny apparently, and you'll have a higher body percent fat. And people need to understand, like, your weight and body percent fat are not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what type of people who look like this are people who typically don't eat, don't work out, and they just don't consume a lot. That's typically the individual person that
I mean, like, thinness does not equal health, right?
You'll see a lot of people who do yoga and Pilates because they're not like true strength training, right? Who look like that, but they're really good at yoga and Pilates.
Or they'll end up with like osteoporosis or,
osteopenia,
all those things.
Like sarcopenia.
And it's like, there's a difference between just moving, right? And then like moving with intent. Or I think we had seen a video the other day that was like, which again, I say with like caution, it's like Pilates and that stuff is not a replacement for strength training, right? You still have to do some sort of dedicated, resistance training, whether that's body weight or, again, what does that look like for you, right? Is it in the gym benching and squatting? Is it just, doing some box squats off a chair like we're in now? But doing some sort of dedicated movement is really important, especially for dealing with diabetes and things like that. I had my blood work done the other day, and we were looking at stuff and talking with the provider. He was like, because you've built like this sort of engine, over years and time, like you're in a good position. But we can tell, that if you weren't, you'd be at risk for like metabolic conditions because it just runs in my family. Like it's just genetic. Everybody.
And I would argue it's not genetic. I would argue there's a genetic component.
True.
But you need to give it the tools for the epigenetic.
Yeah, it has to like click on, right?
I got to correct this guy a lot.
But I'm just predisposed, right?
Yeah.
And so, like I've said in the past, I'm sure for me, working out isn't really a choice. It's like a necessity. I mean, for a lot of it should be a necessity for everyone.
It is.
Right. Yeah. But for some, it's just a little more imperative.
Yeah. So the next topic I want to get into, because you really wanted to get into it, about Twitter. It was about Gen Z and the way they look at money.
Right. It was about I think it was the DoorDash lifestyle.
The DoorDash lifestyle
is what it was like coined. So I'll read it. I don't think it's like that long. I might paraphrase some of it, but
it's 3 hours long, guys. So let's get ready.
Yeah, get ready. So it says the DoorDash lifestyle is an artifact of three massive structural shifts older generations don't see because they didn't grow up inside of them. Number one is the marginal cost of money changed for Gen Z. So what they're saying is for older adults, spending $30 feels like spending $30, right? For kids today, the psychological cost is closer to like a microtransaction. What they said is because of their financial environment, right? Because we can just click and do things like that. There's instant digital payments. There's low commitment to like gig things like DoorDash, right? parents transferring money maybe easily, right? Without having to go and ask. You just say, hey, can you send me $30? You know, boom, it's there, right? Side hustles. This is one that I thought was interesting. They said stimulus era normalization of cash flow. So like, I guess because we've gotten stimulus checks a few times.
Ooh, I got $1,600.
Yeah, which wasn't really that.
It wasn't that
I think
much.
it happened twice, maybe. You know, they're talking about sort of the cash flow, and they're like, teenagers today often have $30 now. Maybe they won't have anything tomorrow. Maybe they help someone with their homework and they pay them $20. Maybe they do a favor for a friend.
Very transactional.
Yeah, it's all transactional. It's all quick, right? So it's not like I got this big lump sum of money and I have to make it last all month. It's day to day, right? It's just here and there and there. Consumption is now social currency. Older generations spent money to solve problems. Gen Z spends money to signal identity, reduce friction, and avoid emotional drag.
And I disagree with that.
Yeah, I saw. I'm just reading the thing. Yeah.
So let's just, before you go on, the reason I really disagree with that is consumption has always been part of the process.
Yeah.
And always separating yourself from others because you have more versus others.
Yeah.
Even as this Genghis Khan era, right? Because he was a leader, he still had more than other people. He attracted more women. He impregnated more women.
Or he could just
get more, right?
Yeah.
And so this has always been around. Like, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to, like, obviously an older person wrote it about Gen Z. Right?
So they said DoorDash is not about food. It's about eliminating effort, eliminating planning, eliminating discomfort, logistics, and decision fatigue. This generation pays premiums to remove negative psychic load. So I don't know.
Again, I disagree with that, right?
I think it's always. I think
we've always seek comfort. We always
convenience has always been a commodity.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like maybe it's just easier now.
Look what happened with the drive-through.
Right. Yeah, and it's like there's. I think if we went back through, right,
we're just seeing it because they see an extreme example now.
Yeah, or it's far more convenient than it ever was before. You know, and now it looks wild, right? The last one they said is the middle class collapsed, but lifestyle costs decoupled from income. This is the part most boomers and Gen X don't understand. Kids aren't behaving like they're poor. They're behaving like people living in a post-middle class economy where ownership is dead, savings are pointless, buying a home is impossible, college debt is a sentence, inflation has destroyed the dollar, wages do not map to adult milestones, and upward mobility is gone.
So in other words, they destroy the economy behind them.
This one I kind of agree with. You know?
Yeah, because when you're stressed out, we talked about this too, about like the decisions I made when I didn't have stuff and then versus I did later. And you just make better decisions. You are safe.
You're safe. Right?
And it's been shown that we're in a K-shaped economy this whole time.
This is exactly what it says. What they're saying is DoorDash is a symptom. And I would say this, while they're saying DoorDash because this was the topic of the conversation, I think what they just mean is like, in general, these sort of like easy sort of transactional things, right, is a symptom of a society where future stability is gone. Wages are stagnant. Housing is unattainable. Attention is fragmented. Convenience is normalized. Friction feels archaic. And everything is mediated digitally. We'll produce kids who treat $30 like a tap on the screen, not a financial decision. They're not funding a lifestyle. They're surviving inside the economy they were handed.
Surviving is the keyword.
Surviving is the keyword, yeah. And this came up because this guy had posted on Reddit, and he said, can someone explain to me where kids are getting the money to live on DoorDash? And so he was saying that he owns a restaurant. Okay, he's a restaurant owner. And he was like, I tell them if they work here for their shift, right, as long as they're here, they can eat whatever, you know, get lunch or whatever it is. And he was like, they still will DoorDash, you know, $32 or whatever food to the restaurant where they can get free food. And he was like, I don't understand. Like, why is this happening when they could just have this? Why would they still go out and spend this money? And he was saying, he was like, I know what I pay them, right? He was like, they get $16 an hour. So he's like, if they DoorDash food and it's $30, that's a whole like 2 hours of work on, you know? And he was like, I don't understand.
But also, I would argue this. kids used to do that back in the day and go to the restaurant next door because they didn't want what you had.
Yeah.
So it's not
and
that
there's
different.
more to it too, right? It's like, it's kind of like, because people kind of make fun of us, right?
Makes it easier.
Because we'll be like, oh, well, I'm going to go work out. And they're like, you don't just work out here? And it's like, yeah, well, I don't want to eat the food here. You know, like I just, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I'll spend a little extra to just go change my environment, step away from work or whatever it is. So yeah, maybe it is a better financial decision, right? But again, with all the aspects that we just mentioned, it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, or it does matter, but it doesn't feel like it, right? Because it's like, who cares if I save $30? Like, I'm never going to own a home anyway. You know, there's nothing to save for because money just goes anyway. So what's the point?
I'm not going to have a retirement. I'm not going to have this.
Yeah. This job isn't paying me a 401k.
There's no
or
hope
something.
at the end of the tunnel. That's pretty much what they're saying. Right. And it made me think about this guy. He was talking about emotion is not instructions. It's information.
Oh yeah. That was a good one. I was talking about that the other day.
It literally is right now. What's happening is because people are surviving, they're taking emotion as the instruction of to how they feel and what they do.
They're just doing exactly what it feels like.
And it's always like, oh, when you talk to some people, it's like, well, I felt like this and I did this because I felt like this versus, look, I feel like this. Why do I feel like this? That doesn't have to be the actual output at the end.
Yeah. It's funny because they were talking about it and he was saying like, why he was like, when you feel an emotion, stop, right? Like pause, think about it, give it a name, think about why you feel like this. Maybe you need to like back off and, you know, pause for a second and then, you know, come back to it or whatever. But I was talking to one of my clients about it and she was like, we were both like, man, we're all just like really big kids still, right? It's the same thing that we tell children. Like, why do you feel like that? You know, what's wrong? Are you angry? Are you sad? You know, and it's like, I don't know. At some point, I guess we forget or, you know, life just kind of takes hold and you're just like, well, I'm just pissed off, you know, and it's just, okay, you know, we're just going to leave, you know, so-and-so alone because he's mad, you know, whatever. So,
yeah, dude. So I love this time of year because a lot of statistics come out.
End of the year, huh?
End of the year statistics. OnlyFans and the Hub statistics came out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy to me. The money just keeps on going up and up and up on it.
Yeah.
And there's like a guy who's like, oh, yeah, there's like one guy who spent like $200,000 in a year. Damn. And I'm like, if you have $200,000 to spend on this, then there's too much wealth at the top. Like that's
right? True. Yeah, because also who is that individual, right? How do they have that much left over to do?
It's wild.
It is crazy. And it's one of those things too, talking about like convenience and eliminating friction. Like, you know, in the past to go get sort of this type of treatment, right? Especially as a man, right? You'd have to like, I don't know, somehow get out to the strip club or, you know, go make an effort to talk to some girl somewhere or something like that. And now you don't have to. You can just get online, you know, press a button, and then you're like chatting with some girl, you know, and she's saying exactly what you want. And it's just easy, you know? And it's like, there's no friction to it. There's no shame, right? It's like easier to hide and things like that. Not saying that there should be shame about this type of stuff, but it's like,
societally there is.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you know, they're at the strip club, like, you know, you're hiding in, you're sneaking around and stuff like that. And it's like, now you don't have, it's a lot easier, you know, it's a lot easier to not have anybody know about it.
Yeah.
Did you also see that the strip clubs donated like the most toys?
I did see that.
It's because they're getting all this money.
You know, it's wild. There's all these things that we considered bad, right? Like the whole formula thing. And I wouldn't say bad, maybe taboo, or they're not on the right side. According to certain people, right?
That's a good point.
So like formula, right? The people who helped the most were mosques and temples.
Oh, yeah.
Where Christianity people weren't really helping as much, right? And then the strip club people are donating toys more than anybody else.
More than all the big corporations, right? Yeah.
And it just shows like who actually really cares. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Is like we're so worried about the visual of the restaurant, not what the actual restaurant provides and feels.
Yeah.
And in the sense of good food, good
we've talked about that, right? Yeah.
People care more about like the look for Instagram versus what's real.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like weight training, people care more about the look versus how they feel.
Yeah.
I've seen people who look good, but they quote unquote look good, but they feel like shit. And or they do extreme stuff to get there. And everywhere you go, whatever it is, or there's touch-ups, hairstyling, plastic surgery, it's always about like what looks good versus what is real. Like, okay, I get lip injections, but psychologically I'm so fucked up and I need therapy.
And also
versus dealing with the actual issue.
And also it's like, it's not how it feels. It's also like what makes money. You know, we were talking about that earlier, not in like the same topic, but it's just like everything just revolves around that, you know? So it's like, oh, my cool pink restaurant is going to make a lot of money.
Just because it's pink.
Who cares what the food tastes like? You know, like
I did go to a pink restaurant.
Me too.
And it was not as good.
It's not any better than any other restaurant. Yeah. Yep. What do we say? Be a lot cheaper, huh?
And before we get to the studies, dude, how amazing was it to see a guy deadlift 405 with no legs?
Oh my God, dude. It makes me feel like a real loser.
Dude, that's pretty cool, right?
It's awesome, dude. I was watching another guy just right now who I guess has some sort of disability where he's unable to use his arms. Like he has them, but they're like, I don't know, I guess he can't connect to them or whatever. Working out, dude, finding a way how to do stuff. And it's kind of cool because I was looking at him do like rows. And so he had like a strap on his arm and he was just kind of using like the arm as like a leverage point, but still just, I was like, man, he's getting total back activation. Like,
yeah, because you take the hands away and everything.
All he can do is use his lats and back.
That's like, crazy.
Yeah. And it was just like, it's honestly inspiring, you know?
It's inspiring. Like, it's also cool to see what is it capable of.
Yeah. The human body like is unstoppable, dude. It's like, or at least with technology now, right? Like able to adapt to these situations and do things. It's like at this point, man, it's hard to find an excuse to not be doing things, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's go to our studies. At Virginia Tech, a study shows ultra-processed foods may influence adolescents differently from slightly older young adults. Participants aged 18 to 21 ate more at a buffet and snacked even when not hungry after 2 weeks on an ultra-processed diet because eating without hunger predicts future weight gain. These findings hint at a heightened vulnerability during adolescence.
It's hard, man. I mean, like a lot of food now is processed, especially if it's maybe a little cheaper, things like that. It's hard to find options that aren't. But also we know the dangers of it, you know, and I think foods too, now we're pretty well aware that they're like engineered to be, you know, they like subvert the hunger signal, like, and it's made that way, you know, to keep you going, keep you snacking.
It just shows you overall ultra processed foods are really good for like people in an area where they may be starving and needs high calories. Or they need the extra sodium to like keep water in their body. Yeah. But in modern contexts, it probably doesn't work as well.
Again, it's like a tool, right? You know? But I think it's just been overly normalized and like a huge part of it, at the very least, the American diet.
Yeah. Second study here, a decade-long study of older women found that tea drinkers had slightly stronger bones while moderate coffee drinkers caused no harm. Heavy coffee intake over 5 cups a day was linked to lower bone density, especially in women who consumed more alcohol. Tea's benefits may stem from
catechins
that support the bone formation that researchers say small daily habits could make a meaningful difference over time. And in my head, it's not that coffee does it or tea does this. I wonder if there is a behavioral aspect where someone who drinks more coffee tends to not eat more because caffeine tends to be an appetite suppressant, right? So they're not eating as much. And then when they do eat, they're probably want to calm the body down. So they're not going for a high protein food. They're more likely to go for like a sugary snaps.
That's a really good point, man.
This is why I like reading studies and then think like, what are the multiple things on the other end that they're not telling you?
Yeah, because it's never just, this is what it is. That's it. It's a tea's better. you know, that's just how it goes. It's like there's always something more. Even me, I was thinking like maybe people who drink tea tend to add more like milk or creamer to their tea, you know, and maybe people that drink coffee are like, I just want it black and blah blah. So maybe they intake more calcium over time, you know, like I don't know, there's a lot to it.
There's like so many things, and when people read this, so someone's gonna read a blurb on somewhere on the internet and it says tea is better than coffee. Then you change your whole routine off of this, and it has no context to it. And we've been doing this in the health space over and over and over again. And it's time that we talk about the complexities of things and partner with doctors. Just like I said earlier, like chiropractors need to like say, this will help you, but there's so many things. Trainers, physical therapists, this will help you. This, you know, everything's a tool, but like, how do we help the individual at the end of the day?
It's one size fits all versus one size fits one, right? Yeah.
All right, guys, if you like what we do, we're on Apple, Spotify. You can rate reviews. Check us on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe, like, and share. Our website is strengthsolutionspodcast.com. Free blogs, free guides, and programs for purchase. You could do our events on there and a free assessment. Then email Strength Solutions Podcast if you have future fitness questions. Social media, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Strength Solutions Podcast. I'm Strength Solutions Edwin.
I'm Strength Solutions Nathaniel.
Until next time, guys. Caca.